And I'm going back to my theory of Howard bid. Like everything he did
Oh,
was
yes,
intentional.
intentional. I agree
Right?
with you. I was like, Victoria tried to tell me. Victoria tried to say that this man was
Yes.
intentionally trying to get her. And
Yeah.
I agree.
Welcome back in, everyone. This is Black Girls Talking TV, where we bring the group chat to life and discuss all your favorite TV shows. Today is all about the new show Imperfect Women on Apple TV, starring Kerry Washington and a bunch of other great folks. I am Victoria. I am one of your hosts, and I'm a psychologist.
And I'm Kamaria. I'm an attorney and a pop culture writer. And before we get into this episode, please make sure you like, please make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit that notification bell and talk to us in the comments, because this is a show that everybody got a theory on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, theories pop up. But
but hold on. Before we get into that, I do think that this episode should come with a trigger warning. We will be discussing some very intense topics, including physical abuse, sexual abuse, all the things. So abuse, child. So this is your trigger warning. The episode on the TV screen, in my opinion, should have came with a trigger warning.
Yeah, I can see
but
that.
Let's get into it.
Yeah, I will say this. I was going to say that I really wish we had started that first episode before. Like, we did the recap, and I said my first thought in the beginning of watching this, before they revealed Howard was David, was that Howard was the killer. And I at this point, I think it's Howard. I think it's Howard at this point. I think they're just going to leave the last two episodes to show us his crazy. But I think it's Howard.
Definitely. I don't even.
All the evidence.
Halfway forward, honey. If it was anybody else, I would. Now, somebody in the comments did think it was the sister-in-law, Kit, or whatever her name is. But I'm like, okay. That would be crazy if it was.
And that
her.
would be unsatisfying.
Sometimes these shows do throw us off the rocker like that. But it definitely seems like all roads lead to Howard. Crazy ass.
Yeah.
Okay.
And let's get to the end part of it. We can go backwards, but like the main thing that happened at the end of the episode was their youngest daughter, having taken Mary's pills and overdosed. That's the story that the doctor shares with Mary. Mary's gone, yada, 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 right? I text you, and I was like, do you also think that Howard gave that girl them pills? And you was like, yep. And it's like, that right there is, for me, what feels like it solidifies that it is Howard, you know?
Yeah. I was kind of shaking at that point, because I was like, this man, like, not only crazy, but crazy. And who is the writer? Who thought of this? Because this was some straight psycho shit. I'm so happy that these ain't real people, so I could really talk shit. But this was some straight up psycho shit. And all I could think about, like, through the entire episode was the power and control wheel, which kind of breaks down into these different categories, how things lead to sexual and physical abuse. A lot of times it doesn't start off overtly with these very like clear behaviors. It's the emotional and the psychological breakdown that happens first, which is what this episode was pretty much giving us, you know? But yeah, I definitely thought, oh, he done because the ex-wife was like, he can't stand being left. So I'm like, he done went and doped up his daughter in order to make sure Mary stays around to keep her captive, because we clearly saw Mary putting them pills at the top of the refrigerator. How did the daughter get those?
Yeah. No, I agree. And I thought for a second, I couldn't remember. I was like, did she put them at the top of the fridge the second time? Because she kept pulling them out. She pulled them out a lot of times that night.
Yeah.
But I was like, I think she did. But that's how, like, gaslighting, stuff can work a little bit. And that's so interesting, because also, not only could this be on Howard's part an attempt to not be left by her, but also could be an attempt to set her up for, like, one, tarnishing yeah, to go to jail, and that tarnishing her reputation, and she the one that seemingly has this evidence against him. Now about
Hmm.
the
To make her seem like she's psychotic, and so
mm-hmm.
anything that comes out of her mouth, it
Doesn't make
has
sense.
plausible
Yeah.
deniability
Yep.
because she's off her rocker.
Yeah. So it
He's
was an
gonna frame her.
yeah, no facts. That actually could be what a whole thing he's trying to do. But yeah, I just the way this like yeah, this is an interesting story, and it is unfolding like a psychological thriller, you know.
Yeah,
The deeper we get into it, the more and then also it's interesting. One of the things I noticed is that everybody's episode that's about them, it tarnishes their character a little bit. Like you see them in a
yeah.
different light. Like not Louise's episode, but Nancy's episode, we see like, oh man, she's cheating with Howard. You know what I'm saying? Eleanor's episode, we see like, oh man, she's like fucking Robert. You know what I mean? And then in Mary's episode, we see, well, damn, Howard was with somebody when you got with him. Like this, just a crew, birds of
Hmm.
a feather flock together. Like this is
Right.
just a crew of home wrecking bitches. Like what the
Yeah.
hell? For
Yeah,
real.
no, yeah, no, for real, for real. Because even the story that she was sharing in the beginning, I
Oh
was like,
yeah.
what are they foreshadowing here with this? Like,
But I'm like, that was her.
yeah, it was her, but the fact that it was written into the story, I was like, and suicide came up. I was like, are they about to have her commit
Oh,
suicide? Like, that's what's about to happen? Is that
interesting.
how this is gonna end?
I hadn't thought about that as much, but I guess it could be something that they're trying to foreshadow. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But either way, all of it was it's crazy. It's
Mhm.
absolutely crazy. So yeah, let's just I guess like walk through the things that we learned about Mary. So
Mhm.
one, yes, she was the mistress. She was the mistress of Howard and the student of Howard's. Okay, two very problematic things. Why is you messing with your teacher? That made no sense. And then we learn that Mary believes or is told by Howard that his ex is psycho and she cuts herself and what all these other things she what else did he say about her? I can't remember. Do you
I don't know.
remember?
Basically, that he was he that
Leaving her.
yeah, and so the whole time this was not even true. You know what I'm saying? All of
Right.
it was untrue. And on top, and he was telling her that she was what, crazy or something.
Hmm.
What did he say? That she was unimportant like the other ones or whatever.
Yeah.
And this is why it's so important that as a woman you choose yourself as opposed to being worried about being chosen, because his ass, yeah, he chose her in her, like, to her face she thought, but behind her back he's really just don't have no other options. You get what I'm saying? And she said there were others, right? She at least said that there was a girl who came to the house that was a student. And so it's like he isn't choosing you. You know what I'm saying? You are the person that's sticking around and dealing with his bullshit. And
Right.
so it's like there has to be your own like sense of self-worth and ability to choose yourself. Like it is.
Yeah, I mean it's hard though once you are because I feel for any women that are in like situations like this where you have been gaslit the entire time, right? And
Mhm.
so because their relationship started off with her feeling like she was on this high horse, it's like the Jenny said when she went to go visit her, no matter what the reality was, you chose to believe whatever came out of his mouth, right?
Mhm.
And by the time that system is already up, where anything that you could do to question something is already broken down, he's already gotten deep into your psyche. It's hard to break out of that, you
Oh, for
know?
sure. No, I agree with that. I agree with that. I just think that the entry point is when you have the most leverage. You know what I'm saying? To be able
Yeah,
to
definitely.
push yourself out of the dynamic. That's what I
Mhm.
mean when I say choose yourself. I'm talking about that beginning part. Like when you enter into a situation with a man that is already showing, he's showing you he has poor
Yeah.
character because he is cheating on his wife. There's nothing you have to uncover because he's showing you already. He came in with his hands open. I have poor character. So it's like
Right.
that's the point where you have to like step, like choose yourself and like say that
Mhm.
I'm worthy of like not having a guy who's going to have poor character. at a
Yeah.
minimum, possibly
Yeah.
do this to me.
Yeah. Last episode we talked about, how people can get preyed on, and it's exactly like this. Like I said, like, and I'm going back to my theory of Howard bid, like everything he did
Oh,
was
yes,
intentional,
intentional. I agree
right?
with you. I said it. I was thinking that. I was like, Victoria tried to tell me. Victoria tried to say that this man was
Yes.
intentionally trying to get her. And
Yeah.
I agree. I
Yes.
agree.
He saw as soon as that thing happened, either that phone call that she had with Scott, or it was the way Robert talked to Nancy that day when
Probably,
they were all at the house, that he
probably
knew,
that.
oh, this is a weak woman and I
Yeah.
can get her. And everything after that, and since then, baby, he was plotting on that ass. He was
Mm-hmm.
plotting real
No,
hard.
I agree. I actually do agree.
Or it could actually
Um,
even been the party when she slapped her daughter.
Ooh. Yeah, but I also think too that the dynamic, because he seemed to understand that she got him the job, right? And I think that the dynamic of desiring power, like he has to be somebody who wants power. I don't know. You figure out the psychological part of it, but I know I see it. You know what I'm saying? That's you only could do this if you're someone who wants
Hmm.
power, and that dynamic of her getting him the job is like is like this, how she's here, how
Yeah,
it's here. So I wonder if he kind of did this stuff intentionally to get more power over her, you know what I mean? Because
potentially.
he sure enough thought that when he put that hand on the skirt, when he was like, it's not over till I say it's over, or whatever he said,
Yeah.
he sure enough
And she
thought
said
that
what she said,
yeah, he thought he
that she,
had her, he thought I could check
right.
you, and she was not having it, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I'm sure that was a really big hit to his ego to hear,
mm-hmm,
like, nobody would believe I would be with you, scum of the
mm-hmm.
earth, little bitch, you know? So that probably triggered him to his
Oh
core,
yeah,
right? Like, because
yeah.
he's used to a woman submitting to him, right? And not leaving. He can't
Mm-hmm,
stand it, right? And over time, when you get to call the shots over and over again, it only increases the likelihood that you will operate, right, like in this realm, right, and just get more
mm-hmm,
and more and more aggressive to the point where
mm-hmm,
now you're being physical about it. You
mm-hmm,
done killed somebody, potentially,
mm-hmm.
probably, highly
Mm-hmm.
likely.
Yeah.
um and who else he
Yeah.
done killed, baby? Because
Yeah.
it's giving
It
serial killer all over it.
absolutely. No,
Stamp
you
on the forehead.
girl, that's the first time I thought about that. But hell, yeah. It is
Yeah.
giving that cuz you willing to kill your own daughter,
Yeah.
ain't nobody safe. Ain't
Yeah,
nobody
ain't
safe.
nobody safe. Ain't nobody. And
So,
you can see like the disorientation that was happening. Like she was dissociating in that moment. Like, did I do this? Did he do this?
mhm.
Like, and so whatever he says is going to alter the reality
Mhm.
because she doesn't believe in her ability to make a decision, to stand firm in
Mhm.
what she believes, to
Mhm.
understand that what she thinks is true, right? Eleanor,
Mhm.
her name is already tarnished, even if she did try to come in and help, because she on the loose, being the dead. She the skank of the skanks, you know what I'm saying? Because you decided to sleep with Robert. So it is
Yeah.
not looking good for Mary. I was like, oh man, this ain't good, Mary.
Yeah, no.
This
Cuz
ain't good.
I mean, I could see them trying to like give us one last whoop. Actually, it's not him, it's someone else type of thing. But
Wow.
I don't feel like that's what's going to happen because I feel like 2 episodes is just enough to give us like, is he going to get away with it drama,
Yeah.
how are they going to take him down drama, and so I think that that's how it's gonna end. And I think back to Nancy and the night that she was talking to Eleanor. She's like, please come with me, please come with me, you know what I'm saying?
Right, because she was
Like,
scared.
yes. And it's like, I can understand that with what we've seen from Robert. And I mean, not Robert, but Howard. But I'm wondering what happened in between time because, like, why did she, like, he must have did something else because she was very clear when she stepped out of that room and when she I guess what Mary saw her pulling her hand off, right? Like,
Yeah.
she was very clear. So there's no need to go and break things off, there's no need for that, right? So it's like, what was that about? You know what I'm saying? Like, he
Yeah.
must have reinitiated something in some sort of way, and I don't know.
Yeah, she got terrified. Yeah, I feel like the next episode is likely going to show us, of course, what happens with the daughter, but I think also too whatever happened between her saying no the night of the ballet. Well, because on the night of the ballet, is that when she didn't die the night of the ballet?
No, she died the night of they went for drinks.
So I feel like this next episode is going to be probably what happens from the ballet up until the drink night, on top of whatever happened with the daughter. Yeah.
Oh.
So I feel like that's what we're gonna probably get next, and then maybe the last episode is going to be the killing, and then oh, I don't know about that, but yeah,
I
I'm
mean, the
just
him getting arrested and stuff, and or
yeah.
if he
If
does,
he
because he
gets
might not,
arrested, it might
or
get to
whatever
be
goes down,
Mary.
whatever goes down. If Mary gets arrested, whatever goes down, especially if this is season one,
Yeah,
especially like, but I cannot see them having an entire series where the guy like him makes it doesn't like we can't have us chase him the entire series. Like, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? He has to go down, and maybe you could like, I don't know.
yeah. Unless this is it. I mean, it's based on a book, so this might be the only. This might be the
Yeah,
only season,
yeah, yeah.
and it's
That's what I would
over.
like personally.
Yeah,
I'd like them to
yeah,
complete the story. I don't need multiple seasons. So yeah, just
yeah.
complete the story.
Yeah, but we see Howard. He a trip baby because even him getting that job in Ohio, you try to isolate Mary even further to make sure she don't have no
I
friends,
didn't even
no
think about
nothing
that.
around her. You
Hmm.
willing to uproot your family? You could have found a
Hmm.
job right there where y'all was at.
Probably he look. Yeah. I wasn't even thinking about that. I will say
Yeah,
that. But
yeah.
but
And then we find out she didn't even like being a housewife. She was supposed to be a writer.
yeah,
She was supposed to be a
yeah.
writer, and instead she supported him in his career,
Hmm.
and she never got the opportunity to pursue hers.
But I'm like, girl, if you don't break out that Apple laptop and type your novel, like, what are we talking about
Yeah.
here?
I
What
mean,
are we talking about
sometimes you
here?
feel very, very stuck in a
But I'm saying
situation.
like, yeah, I agree with that because I there are ways that I've seen it happen, you know, in marriages of like older generations. I see it because you have
Yeah.
the time to see it play out, right? Where one person's career has been prioritized over the other person's. However, I'm saying as a writer though, like you can write, you know, you can write, especially you get like, girl, let me. I want to be a novelist. Like, let me have the time to be home. But anyway, I ain't
Yeah.
trying to talk with a girl. But anywho, there was about that Ohio trip or that Ohio job, right? When he came back, the way he was acting, I was like, brother, man, like this further evidence of his douchiness, you know,
Yeah.
and his control. Because how he even just spoke to her in that moment, she's raising like valid concerns about their family. He's making it about him. So she's got to be like,
Hmm.
oh no. And, you know, right? Because I think that, yeah, it's great to have a job that's there. And maybe she could have been more excited, but also at the same time, it's a valid
Yeah,
concern. You moving
it
the
is.
family clean across what they based in New York?
I think so. Wherever they at, Ohio
It
too
ain't
far?
Ohio. Yeah.
Right.
It ain't Ohio. And
Yeah.
so it's like he made this decision just
Hmm.
with on his own, you know?
Yeah.
And it may be that Mary didn't necessarily speak up when he was applying for it, but also it doesn't seem like there's a lot of partnership here on his part, you know, in terms of
There
like
isn't.
coming to decisions together, especially those that affect the family. He out there on the phone when she goes in there to confront him about the letter. He over there like, oh, send me the listings. This man looking for houses. He
Right.
looking for
Yeah, because
houses.
he's using his male privilege to make all of the
Yeah.
big decisions on his
Hmm.
own. He's clearly defined what the roles are, and hers is to be a servant.
Yeah.
Make sure things are
Yeah.
ready when I get home.
Yeah.
Congratulate me, boost me when I do well.
Yeah, and who knows? Ohio could have a lady over there, and that's where he going.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It could be a lady
Okay.
that he done met as a professor. You know, they be meeting people from different
Mhm.
universities, all conferences, all the time. You know what I'm saying? He
Yeah.
could have him a woman over there, and it's
Yeah.
just like boom. Psh, I want to be
Yeah.
closer to her because
He I'm telling you, he
yeah,
He a piece of work.
Yeah,
He's done it
yeah.
all. Like even the fact that she hasn't worked and she wants to work. It's one thing if a woman does not want to work, like they would rather be at home, but she
Hmm.
clearly wants to work. So
Yeah.
now you have the abuse of the economic power in the household. You
Yes,
get to
yes.
control, all the finances and have the
Yeah,
final say on how we spend and use our money. And she gets none of that because she probably don't even have access
yeah,
and stuff, because he done did it.
yeah.
And the way he gave his daughter the pills.
Yeah, but it's like you said, and I was when I said earlier, I was like, he obviously wants some type of power. When I was talking about him, the power
Yeah.
dynamic between him and Nancy, I was like, power is control. You started the whole session off talking about some control, the control
Yeah.
wheel,
The
like,
power and control. Yes, that is how we get to physical and sexual violence a lot of times. But yeah, everything I just listed are categories on that wheel, like in
mm,
some form or fashion.
yeah, no, it's very interesting. Just
Yeah.
and the way he was willing to talk to her. Like all of these men, the husbands, I guess
Hmm.
Robert and Howard, it's like the way they are speaking to these women, it's like this is reprehensible, you know? And
Yeah.
like it's kind of like what you were saying earlier, like so it breaks people down. I think you get to a space sometimes where you accept these things because inch by inch it has happened and things
Right.
have ballooned, so your normal has really shifted throughout time, especially this girl Mary,
Yeah.
you know. but
Well,
but
in the
it's
be oh, go ahead.
go ahead.
Sorry. I was gonna say in the beginning, they talked about how well Mary was able to create a fantasy,
Oh
and
yeah, girl,
in
we stepping
psychological
out.
terms, that's called dissociating.
Yeah.
Like you're
She,
disconnected from reality and you're living in an alternate universe in order to
yeah.
protect yourself
Mm-hmm.
from what's happening. So everything that you see that's occurring around you is seen with a different lens. It's almost how Eleanor saw Robert. It's like I see
Mm,
these things, but I'm not going to
yeah.
necessarily question them because it challenges what makes me feel the safest. And that was Mary, baby. But hopefully, especially after this little incident with the pill, she can come through. It's just gonna be unfortunate because if they test her system, she gonna have a whole bunch of Adderall in her
Yeah.
system because she took
Yeah.
more than one pill that night,
Yeah.
and she said that they were 10 milligrams, so they will be able to see that she
Yeah.
has more than 10 milligrams, and
Mm.
she would be deemed unsafe and unfit to be a mother, right? And
Mm-hmm.
so,
Yeah, I mean, this is where our professions collide because I
yeah,
was like, that's for damn sure what's going to happen. We're in the courtroom, okay?
yeah,
And girl, that's
yeah.
that's that's for damn sure what's going to happen.
Yeah, so Howard
Um,
he pulled the ultimate trigger with that one. And when you start to use your children, also on the
yeah.
power control wheel, using the children to either create some sort of divide, using threats, with them, making them feel like, mommy is bad because that's what this is gonna be. Your mommy left some pills around, and
Hmm.
so now,
You know the way he
she has
talked
to go
blunt.
away. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. Yes. You okay with your kids seeing death? Now you go about to tell them, yeah, your mommy almost killed you. Yeah, because of her little pill addiction.
And
Um,
it's gonna be. I mean, it may not even be this, but I feel like he'll say like she still loves you. You know, your mom. She just did a bad thing, but it's like nobody trying to have their kids know anything about anything, right?
right,
One, so
right,
certain things kids don't need to know. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
secondly, you the one did it the whole
right,
time. You know what I'm saying? Like
right,
it's you. You
yeah,
are the monster.
yeah.
So
I was thinking too, girl, you need to put that ring back, or you need to take the ring and go
yeah, cause
immediately
now
to the
she got
police. Because
girl, she
why?
got the evidence on her.
Right, she got
Shit.
the evidence on her. I'm like, this makes no sense. Makes no sense. Now you ain't recording no conversations, no nothing. Because they gonna say,
Yeah.
well, if once you found it, why didn't you come immediately to the police?
Right. And then on right, it's like yeah.
But she on
Yeah.
the Adderall, she can't think straight. But also the
Oh,
Adderall helped her a little bit because she was able to focus in and zone in and,
yeah, I was like,
and
what
figure
does
it out.
Adderall do? Is that ADHD drug?
Yeah, it is an ADHD drug, but it's a
Okay.
stimulant.
Okay. Anything else in this episode? I'm like, are we forgetting any well, the Eleanor Mary
Yeah,
reconnection, because this
yeah,
episode we sort of pick back up or we see Mary's side of what's been going on, but they kind of pick us up midway through the episode with her. I know who David is, knocking on her door and
yeah,
and telling Eleanor. So It's
Oh,
interesting.
I would say another big thing though was Nancy, the way she lied about what happened that night, because we see
Mm,
that Nancy actually goes. I mean, we see that Mary went to Nancy's house
mm-hmm.
because she
Because she
was
saw that.
she yes she saw that, so she was trying to figure out if she was okay,
Mm-hmm.
and
Probably
she
what
was
was that
lying
about?
straight to her face. She was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh yeah, I can't with him drinking and da 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 da." So we also know that that was when she confided in her, which was like, uh, they kind of referenced that in the very beginning,
Yeah.
through Eleanor's story.
Yeah. But part of me was thinking, like, I still haven't heard you say anything, Nancy, that's strong enough to help me understand why you were wrestling your arm away from Howard up there. Like, it feels like she could have said even something further, that, like, I was telling him I'm going to go home tonight and I don't need, him to say anything. And he was like, no, it's not safe. And, like, that's why he grabbed my arm or something like that. But I didn't feel like there was enough explanation, because if I was the wife, I would still be like, but why did he grab your
But you
arm?
in your
Like,
right mind. The insane mind don't operate like a sane
you
one. You know what I'm
always
saying?
say that. It is hilarious, though. Yes,
Very,
insane minds do not
very,
operate like
Mary is
sane
already
ones.
operating in insanity. Okay,
Yeah, no,
she is
she.
hoping that something is going to change about her situation, and doing that would challenge that too much. She's just trying to
Yeah,
survive. She's just trying to
yeah.
survive.
But we also, the son, he was in there a little bit more this time. That's why I was like, get gearing up for
Yeah,
my person, my
yeah,
killer. Is
yeah.
he
They
gearing
cleared
up
him
here to
up.
give?
They cleared him up. They cleared him right on up. He came down feeling bad, and said what
Yeah.
happened, and
But I wonder, because I guess he's a narcissist or something like that. Howard, he's
mm,
something. He's not a good guy.
he might be antisocial.
Children of not good men. I'm just gonna speak on men. I wonder, like, it always seems like they have something that comes
Hmm.
of them, like, severely, because, like, I think there's something about having bad character, and on top of that, having, like, the physical prowess of, like, a man to back it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not to say that bad mothers, because bad parenting is the root of a lot of evil. They talk about money. It's the root of a lot of
Yeah.
evil. Like, some of the
Yeah.
things that
Yeah.
people that
It goes both
become is
ways.
because of
That's not
parenting,
a
bad
gender
parenting. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. It's bad parenting. But I mentioned this thing about the dads, though, because of the son, and I was just thinking about, like, this. I mean, I about to say the son seems well adjusted, but then I was like, hold up, no, he got money he owes bookies.
Yeah, and I mean both of
He seems
them.
nice, though, I guess, as a
We
kid.
don't know Howard's background, but they talked about Mary's, and Mary came from a crack house.
I missed that.
Yeah, that's what they was talking about. So it's
Hold
already
on, what crack house she
genetically.
come from? Did I
Huh?
miss that?
Yeah,
What
you
crack
did.
house
And
she?
they was talking about Mary. She came from that. I could have sworn they said something about. Let me know in the
Oh
comments if I'm
no, girl!
wrong.
They said she was on a commune, like a hippy dippy farm, a pot house. That's what I
Oh,
thought.
pot house.
Like, I
Oh,
thought she, like, a farmer. I thought they said that she was like
oh,
one of
oh.
these non-traditional type of '70s hippy dippy. That's what I heard.
Oh,
That's
okay,
what I
okay.
got
That could have been
from
what it
it.
is. I think they did say
Crack
pot house.
house.
Look at me, crack house, crack it.
That's
Definitely was
hilarious.
pot house. But either way, even
Yeah,
pot,
no,
okay? Because
it's
I
given.
have some opinions about marijuana,
And
okay? And
not only opinions, it's facts. Like, I've been seeing so much and more stuff about how potent the weed is nowadays from
yeah,
dispensaries, and I've seen so many stories, seen some personally, people losing their mind
I
from
keep saying I would.
marijuana.
I keep
I've seen it with my eyes.
same. I keep saying I want to get into academia and specifically study what happens to black men after they smoke marijuana, because I feel like I'm seeing too many at the psychiatric hospital with some issues. All of a sudden they got schizophrenia and bipolar. It didn't show no prerequisites for it, but it's like something snap after they start ingesting this marijuana. It's something. So I have been so anti marijuana like these last,
Yeah,
I would say, like two to
yeah,
three
it's
years.
yeah.
I feel like
And
Yeah.
I always was a person that felt like weed is just, it's nothing, it's nothing. It's, I have
Yeah.
never had concerns
Yeah.
until I
But I do
saw
feel
it
like it
with
is
my own
destroying.
eyes.
Yeah, I've personally seen it, and it's not pretty. It's not
They were
pretty.
like, it ain't the
So
same. The weed ain't the same.
yeah,
Something is
it's
different.
not. It's not. So yeah, I have. So and I know Mary, her situation was back in the '70s, so it probably wasn't the same. But still, right? Like
Yeah.
just the idea of you are hooked on a substance,
Yeah.
your predisposition to being addicted, right? There is still a genetic factor to that, and so with their son, you got your psycho ass daddy, and you got your druggy mama, and the two
Yeah. Something's
together,
going on.
it's something. Yeah, and so now
Yeah.
you got a gambling addiction. He was gambling, so it's just they're just showing the pipeline
Yeah.
of how stuff like this
Yeah.
happens. So
Yeah. Because I was
it's
literally
something.
sitting here like, he's a nice kid. I don't see it in him, but
Yeah, child. Them
girl,
tears was his
forgot.
actual developmental stage coming out. Like, oh my god, I did something bad, and it's affecting somebody else. Okay, but
Yeah.
he's still
Yeah.
gonna. He
Who
still did it.
child?
He still did
Yeah.
it. But yeah, we done got off the rocker now. But yeah, let us know what we left out in the comments. Let us know what you're
Mm,
thinking now. Is everybody on the same page? Is it Howard, or do you have another theory? If you got another theory, you better come with your evidence,
I
babes, in the
know.
comments, because I wouldn't see how. But yeah, we will catch you for next week's episode. We are also covering Love Overboard, Survivor, $1 Million Secret. We also are going to be semi doing Beyond the Villa, but we got some instructions in that video for y'all. So yeah, check out all the things we have going on as we are coming to a close with Imperfect Women, and hopefully we'll catch you over there for those.
In
All
two
right,
weeks,
bye.
though. Two
Oh yeah, in
weeks
2 weeks we're wrapping up.
for
Yeah,
imperfect.
but
Yeah. You
very
act like we
very
leaving
soon.
tonight. Like, this the
Yeah,
last
but very
time?
soon, very soon, very
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah. All right.
Alrighty, bye.
Peace out. Bye.